Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ok Xoomer. I'm your host, Aaron Lichtig, Xometry guy and former Jeopardy champion, and I'm excited to be here today with Joseph Larsen. Now, Joseph Larsen is a design engineer by day, but by night he runs the YouTube channel Joko Engineering, where he is a YouTube star, and we'll get a chance to talk about that today. Joseph, welcome. It's great to have you on the show.
Oh, it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. So first, tell us about Joko Engineering.
Oh, man. So this was started when I was 24, still in school, and it kind of came about because I was a little bit frustrated that my university wasn't giving me as many CAD classes as I wanted. I only had one, and I decided I was going to take it upon myself to make it easier to learn CAD and have the barriers for entry be a little bit lower. So it's been a great channel, and it's gotten a lot bigger than I ever thought it would.
Yeah, about how big is it now?
I'm at about 23,000 followers right now.
Oh, 23,000. You did get big fast.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was that many people in the world interested in CAD, so it's been great.
Now, what are some of your favorite videos, the ones you've made and put up on your channel?
Ooh, I've got some great memories. I think one of my all-time favorites, I had a long paid time off with the birth of my daughter, and I got to spend some of that time working on making a Corsair in FreeCAD and a Rafael in SolidWorks, and it was just a fun time because it was about a 10 video series, and it was during the time that I got to get to know my daughter as well.
Oh, that's great. Does she use CAD?
Not yet, but when she gets a little bit older, I sure hope so.
Oh, okay, excellent. Now, you mentioned that this channel came out of your experiences as an engineering student at Arizona State. So what were some of the frustrations that you had that led you to start this channel?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, I went to ASU Polytech campus, and at the time, there was a lot of changes going on. There was the Fulton Schools of Engineering that they just got that title, and as the courses and accreditations were being developed, I think during the transitionary period, I couldn't have taken more CAD just because of an accreditation issue. So that's mainly, I really, 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 really wanted to learn CAD, and I didn't really get a chance to do it formally. So a lot of my knowledge just came from being self-taught and looking it up myself, and I wanted to make it easier for everyone else.
How did you get into mechanical engineering, design engineering as a profession?
Oh man, another great question. I was putting things together and working on things probably since I could talk, and I think what really cemented it, I was about 7 years old. My dad had a 69 Camaro, and we were driving it around, and I was just barely big enough to see over the dashboard, but there was this other car that was acting like they wanted to race that, of course, wasn't nearly as fast. They were just kind of egging us on, and I told my dad to hit it, and he did. And man, I was in tears by the time we got to the next light, and that really kind of cemented it for me. That was just the coolest thing.
And what excites you most about your field moving forward? What are the things, again, looking out 3 years or 5 years, excite you most about being a part of it?
Oh man, there are some really great technologies coming out there. You know, there's a company called Topology that sells some really advanced analysis software for topographical optimization. And some of these emerging technologies combined with additive manufacturing are making parts that we have never seen before. And that to me is really, really exciting to be able to get into.
That's cool. Now, you've talked a lot about FreeCAD, and your channel is all about teaching people how to use FreeCAD. But what advice would you have for somebody who's at the early stages of this and wants to learn more?
Wow. So with FreeCAD, it's a parametric modeler, and it works a lot like SolidWorks. So when you get into the sketching environment and the actual solid modeling, the skills that you can pick up in FreeCAD and even in a program like SolidSpace are transferable to the larger programs in a way that surprised me when I started using FreeCAD as to how familiar it felt. So I don't think you have to go get an expensive license from a big platform to be able to use solid modeling. And when you start getting good at solid modeling, it really lowers the barriers to entry for working with people like suppliers. If you want a 3D print, you got to have a solid model. If you want to have a sheet metal design quoted, you need a solid model. And FreeCAD is a wonderful solution that doesn't change its terms of use because it's open source and it doesn't cost anything to be able to use, and it's not freeware that will give you viruses. So I think it's a really wonderful solution for people who want to get in.
On your channel, Joko Engineering, what do you have planned over the next few months? What should people look out for?
Oh man, that's a great question. Well, I have some friends at Xometry, so we're going to have some Xometry content being put up. I also am working on making an F18 in FreeCAD, and so there's going to be a brand new series for that. And I think a lot of subscriber questions are coming in, so some question and answer type of videos.
Oh, cool. So is that how you come up with your ideas for the channel? You look at questions that people are writing in or things from your own work? How do you think about that?
Yeah, and it gets really funny sometimes because I get some people who say, well, I don't think anybody wants to know this but me, and it's actually a question that a lot of people want to know. And then some other people say, well, I think a lot of people are going to want to know this, but it's just them. So I get all kinds of questions, and I try to answer as many as I can. I can't answer all of them, but I try to respond and answer to as many as possible. And I think all questions are good.
Excellent. Well, Joseph, thank you for joining us today on OK Zoomer. It was great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And everybody watching today, please check out Joko Engineering. That's Joko Engineering. Search for it on YouTube. Subscribe to Joseph's channel. It's really good. Great advice there, especially if you're interested in FreeCAD. Lots of good materials where you can learn and grow. Thanks for watching this episode of OK Zoomer. We'll be back again in a few days with another one. Take care, everybody.